Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you, and welcome back once again to free Shiksha TOEFL classes, which we are happening, which we are actually taking every Wednesday. There is a slight error. I'll just correct. All right. So, guys, I welcome all of you, and please do not forget to register with us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. These are the basic two kinds of information which I actually share with you whenever I come here for the class. Sometimes the classes are from 3 to 4 and sometimes they fluctuate from 3:30 to 4:30 according to the timings. You can just watch out for the timings on our calendar which are there on our landing page. And yes, let's start with the class now. So today we are covering up for TOEFL listening module, and earlier we actually discussed the reading module in detail. Now we are looking at the listening modules through the listening module in detail. That means I'll be giving you the overview of the module. That means I'll be sharing the syllabus, the timings, and the kinds of questions which come up. What are the tips and strategies, general tips which you can apply to your listening paper for getting good score? Now, there had been few, changes which had come up lately during this year in the month of July. So you can just go through it when you're rewatching the video. For now, I'll just give you the brief of it. So there has been a certain number of reductions in the number of questions, and also in the reduction of number of minutes, that is the timing. So reading, now we have 20 questions and the time which is allotted to you for reading paper is 35, whereas for listening there is not any major change, no major change yet, but yes, there are 28 questions in total and 36 minutes at the time is the timing which you get for your listening paper, whereas for speaking you have 4 tasks and 16 minutes, writing 2 tasks and 29 minutes. So that is approx half an hour, and total timing which you get for your total complete paper for your TOEFL exam is 2 hours. So earlier it was a 3 hour paper and now candidates finish it in 2 hours. So let's go through the definition and the initial part of your TOEFL IBT listening test. So listening section is designed to measure your ability to understand conversations and lectures in English. It includes listening for basic comprehension, understanding the speaker's attitude and degree of certainty, connecting information. So these are few things. Now, listening questions. So what are the kinds of questions and how many do you get in each section? Let's go through that. So you'll hear lectures and conversations in this section. Both use campus-based language. 3 lectures, some with classroom discussion, and each 3 to 5 minutes. 6 questions per lecture, whereas 2 conversations will be there, each 3 minutes, and 5 questions per conversation. So you can take down notes on any audio item throughout the test to help you answer questions. Test time is, it should take about 36 minutes to complete the listening section. Okay, so that is the amount of time which you get to complete your listening paper. Now, how to take notes during TOEFL listening conversation? This is a very crucial topic because many of the candidates do struggle in this. Taking notes on conversations is easier in comparison to lectures. First, conversations are usually much shorter. Second, conversations take place on a college campus and deal with situations related to university life. So you are most likely familiar with these subject matters. If you are not, that's okay. So you will still find it easier than lectures. Third, if you miss what one speaker says, other speaker will probably, just a second guys, so other speakers will probably give you a clue as to what you missed. So here are some of the tips that you can take down for taking notes for conversations. So let's see what are the tips. Let's go through them one by one. And here we are, let me just maximize it. Yes, so pay attention to speaker's tone of voice, or to interpret implied information. So when you take notes on conversations, you should be aware that conversations contain more implied information compared to lectures. And implied information means information that is suggested but not directly stated. So let's look at an example of implied information. Now find a balance between listening and note taking. The rule of thumb is that you should take enough notes to help you remember important facts, information, so that you can focus most of your attention on understanding the conversation. So if you're having a difficulty, in listening to the conversation because you're taking down notes, then probably you need to take fewer notes. That means you're writing too much. So that is also, one thing which should be avoided. You don't need to write down everything. Sometimes even one word can ignite your memory and help you remember an answer, but only practice will allow you to accomplish this. And if you're having a difficult time remembering the conversation, then you need to look at your note taking strategy and change it to something that works better for you. Very important tip, guys. Keep moving. Now, when this, ideally, you will pay attention perfectly for the duration of the test and understand all of the main ideas the first time they're mentioned. But practically speaking, your mind may wander, or at some points, you may not understand what the professor is talking about. So when this happens, just let it go and start listening again. Very important, guys. Why you should let it go and start listening again? Because if you're trying to figure out or stress about what you missed, you will end up missing even more, or you will become completely lost. So it's better to potentially miss one point rather than missing several. Another issue is if you end up missing several, you may become extremely stressed out, which can carry over to other sections of speaking and writing. People with a high level of English skills have been known to do poorly due to stress, and we don't want to scare you. But it can happen if you're not prepared. Our program will help prepare you so you feel confident on the testing. Now, use symbols. Very, very indispensable, guys. Why? Because sometimes we write too much and that is not understood by us only. So to avoid such kind of errors and difficulty on the day of the exam, you should, take some symbols down. So just as to, sorry, excuse me, just as to, just for your clarity and just for your ease, you should write down smaller words. Maybe you should write down some abbreviations, or you can also go for shortcuts just to save your time on, making notes. Now use the two column layout. The two column layout is one of the best layouts for taking notes for a conversation between two people because it helps to organize the speakers without the need to write down the speaker each time you make a note. So example, the left column is used for speaker 1 and the right column is used for speaker 2. So now I'm going to show you how you can actually divide two columns and make your notes very easily. So this is the one which I'm talking about. One is professor and one is student, and whatever they are saying, I'm writing it in abbreviations or in shortcuts or maybe small words and phrases, which will help me relate to the questions later on when there is no audio present. Okay, so this is how you can actually make notes, and it will be very fruitful, I'm sure. Now, there are certain kinds of questions which you will encounter in your TOEFL listening paper. So let's go through them one by one. Detail question, inference question, attitude question, function question, just content, just purpose, and organization question. So these will be taught one by one in detail in the upcoming free TOEFL classes. Now, guys, this is the slide from the previous videos as well. I'm using one of the oldest slides here. That is why it is written here. So we had started with these free Shiksha TOEFL classes in the month of August. So maybe you can just go back and refer to those videos from the month of August, and definitely you will find the details of each of these questions, not just in listening, but in reading, speaking, and writing as well. So definitely these classes are going to help you if you are a serious aspirant of TOEFL exam. And now we come to another slide. So, proven study method to improve your TOEFL listening score. Let's see what is that. So, scored above 60% and scored below 60%. So complete a TOEFL listening practice and check your answers. It's important to follow the allotted time frame. So guys, so far you should know that TOEFL and IELTS and any other exam which you're giving for your migrating purpose, especially IELTS and TOEFL, these are all very very time restricted papers, and definitely you need a very good time management to follow the rules and complete your paper with all the ease and with less difficulty. So definitely there are few steps which I'm sharing with you. So you can just compare your score after you have practiced each of the modules, especially your reading and listening, and then maybe you can compare. If you are getting above 60%, then these are the steps which you should follow. And if you're getting a score below 60%, then definitely nothing to worry about. I have given the steps for that as well. So now I'm going to read all the bold lines here present under the step 1, 2, 3 and getting the results. And then maybe in detail, you can read it out in detail when you're rewatching the video and you want to come back and check what were the details. You can read it on your own. Let me just read out the bold lines for you for now. Step one is, if you're getting above 60%, step one is re listen to the sections of the audio where you had doubts. Then step two is analyze the questions you got wrong, and then getting the results, committing yourself to 3 hours a day. So you can complete more than 50 TOEFL listening questions in less than 3 weeks. Now, if you got below 60%, then listen to the same recording again, read the sections of the script that you had problems understanding with, and definitely step three is take the TOEFL listening practice again. Now, follow these steps and you'll see to it how it works wonders. So, completing the above step by step process should take you around 45 to 60 minutes. That is approx, half an hour. Sorry, not half an hour, 1 hour per TOEFL listening practice. And of course, if you answered all or most questions correctly, then it will take you much less time. So, therefore, by committing yourself to 3 hours a day, you can complete more than 50 TOEFL listening questions in less than 3 weeks. With this intense training, you will see a significant improvement in your TOEFL listening score. So, guys, I have also listed down, few good books which you can actually uh, go across, and you can experiment with your practice self practice sessions. So these are few of the topmost highlighted books from the TOEFL candidates, rated by them. So please do go through them and practice from here. And that was all from my side for this particular class. Class will be based your TOEFL writing, and in the end, we will be going through the TOEFL speaking as well, just like we did for reading and listening. I hope the video was fruitful for all of you. If you have any questions related to today's video or any other general doubt about your TOEFL exam, please let us know by writing on the comment section here, and we'll try to answer them as soon as possible, and one by one we'll answer all of your queries. Except that if you have any query after watching the video and again getting a doubt or query related to the exam or the fees or the colleges and your universities, if your doubts are related to that and not the training, then definitely you should register with us, because we have an expert counseling team who will help you in getting free counseling sessions. You do not have to pay anything, and of course they will provide you with lots of information which will be helpful for you for for all the colleges and all the universities, or the exam fees or the exam dates or the pattern requirements. Everything will be discussed by the counselors, so do not worry about that. And yes, thank you so much for watching us live, and we'll come back to you next Wednesday at the same time, 3 to 4 p.m. Between that, it can be 3:30 as well, so please do check on the calendar when we are putting the date. And till then, take care and keep practicing for your TOEFL. Thank you guys. Bye bye.